we have Positive Terrance in the house today. Question I was thinking about, have you had people fainting on the train?
Yeah, it happens like here and there. So I used to work a lot, like 5 days a week or 6 days a week, and then you just see it happen out of nowhere when it's like tram, like you get off the tram operator seat and we have to be like moving through everybody, like just try to clear out of the way. And then we have this oxygen tank, and we usually have to like put it on them to breathe. It's like they're okay, like in a certain position. So most of the time, yes, they're okay, and then they just need to breathe in that oxygen tank just a little bit. So that helps a lot. But we also have like first aid kit and things like that. It's comfortable. That's number one. Make sure you always have food before like you ate like lunch or breakfast, because it's never a good idea to ride the tram on an empty stomach. And every time when that happens to somebody, it's because they didn't eat or drink anything all day.
10 years, decade, just
The tram's been there. It's been 59 years, almost 60 years. So 14 million people have been. So that's a lot of people.
tell the listening audience a little bit about yourself.
Way back, like on the Navajo reservation called Nosh Chitty. Like Gallup was the closest town, and I would go to school at UNM Gallup in Albuquerque, and I started working there in 2015 of August. So since then, just been keeping on. The cabin operator really talk about things and point out things. Just riding up on top of the cable car. People always like, what? Like that's crazy.
Was it first time fear climbing up on top of the cable car?
Man, 10 years ago, I was like, for the whole year, I'm like, I'm doing this for a living. Like, but after a year, like everyone gives good feedback. Customers are like, where's that guy? Like, he's jubilant, he's excited, he's always positive. Like 9 years after, it's just been like second nature. It doesn't faze me no more. But when I first was there, man, like being on top of the cable car, just way up there looking down, like we're so high up here. And
what's attractive about the train?
the views, like being in Albuquerque, you can see the mountain. You're just like, man, look at that mountain top or the huge peak out there, and you're just kind of seeing it here and there, and there's buildings in the way. But then when you go to the tram, you ride up, and then you just get to see like the whole view down, like the city lights.
When is the best time to take a ride on the train?
Earliest or the latest, because we're really busy like as the day goes. So you want to try to avoid the big crowds. It's like cram like sardines. Show up at 8:30 and then get that ticket, and then we make our first trip at 9 a.m. And then the same thing for the last one, but that'll be pretty late. So we're getting sunsets at 7:20 now. Aside from last month, it was like 8:30. So it's getting darker faster. So I'm not looking forward to next few months where sunsets can be at 4:30.
Tell the listening audience, how did you come up with positive? How did that come up to describe you?
So when I was 17, it was crazy. Like I was a senior in high school, and everyone had like to email their friends or Yahoo email like each other. And I was just there like looking up bands, and that's where I first found the idea of straight edge. And there was a band called X Looking for X, and I was like, why does this band have X's on their name? And I looked into it, and then it was like straight edge, and I looked it up, and it's like straight edge is to be drug-free, alcohol-free, just being positive. So
right.
That's where I picked it up. And then I looked into bands that were straight edge. There was band members called Positive West. Even this guy named Doug, they call him Doug-free, like drug-free. So I was like, that's me now. Real name's Terrance Sosi, but like I was like, I'm gonna be Positive Terrance just to promote the drug-free, alcohol-free lifestyle. That's where it came from, and that was a long time ago. So like 20 years ago. So straight edge, and the straight edge is that because nowadays it's like died. Like back in the day, like 15 years ago it was big, 10 years ago it was big, and then it just went downhill. So a lot of people aren't straight edge no more. Like no. I try to like be like, hey, there's still a chance to be like that.
Yes, yeah, that's good. You know, I applaud you in doing that, because it takes a lot of self-discipline, you know, to continue that path. And it's really, really great hearing it come from a younger person.
It was crazier when I was a teenager, like a few years after, because like I was really tempted, and like all my friends. Now, like at this age, it's just, like I'm glad I just like kept with it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a really good thing. So, what are some of your goals?
A couple weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, was the first time I went to East Coast, Boston. Before then, I would go to Las Vegas, Nevada, and that was last year. And I've been traveling here and there. So my goal is to really like travel, being East Coast. Like first time seeing the beach, like broad daylight, like that was wild. Like I couldn't believe it, like seeing like seagulls and eating crab cakes and like just fresh like seafood. It was so like different like from what I've.
Go ahead and travel, develop and gain new experiences so you can pass those experiences on to others, and and just by that encourage them of doing the same, and you never know how positively that we affect other people when we do that.
Check out sandiapeak.com. It's linked to the tram and the restaurant up top, so we're always looking for people. So we really need help, especially like right now, like Boom Fiesta's coming up. It's gonna be the busiest times coming up. First Saturday of October for like 10 days. So this is a couple months away. So I'm not ready for that. I usually am, but like,
right.
Man, it's a lot of work coming.
So in your job, what do you do? Is it like making sure that the tram is working, functioning properly? Go ahead and explain.
Definitely, yeah. So we do radio checks, we do the panel checks, like the stop, go, slow. There's buttons on there, and we have maintenance where they check the wheels, and on top of the wheels, there's the haul cable, track cables. There's like over 50, 60 wheels that rotate on the haul cable. And there's giant wheels on top of the structure, which is on top of the mountain, and down the base counterweights. So to do it every day, just to open. So
right.
We do that. We have like 30 minutes to get ready, and we do our test run at 10:30. Maintenance run, test runs we'll call it. So there's nobody besides the restaurant staff, and then the tram operators and the maintenance. So we have to make sure the wheels are in motion, make sure it's all good to go, and then for that time. Still do wheel checks on towers, and then 9 a.m. we get customers. That's when we get our first customer run. So it's a lot of work. Not a lot of people know. So that's why I recommend, like, if you ever show up the tram, show up extra early so you can see the guys riding on top of the tram car. That's always done early in the morning, and it's usually done at 7:30.
So for those of you who've been on the tram thus far, and those of you who have not, this explains the arduous work that they have to go through in order to make sure that you have yourself a safe and pleasant ride on the tram, and that's really incredible. I've only been up there one time since I've been here. The sights are incredible up there on the tram. So could you tell the listening audience, how did the tram come about?
The tram came about. There was a man named Robert Nordhaus who got the idea of visiting out Switzerland, and the idea came forward a couple of years before 1966. So it was over $2 million, $2.4 million, and Ben Abruzzo. So they established and built a tram by a Switzerland company called Bell Engineering. So it took 2 years to build, from holding up the cables, the towers, building the towers, the structure for the top of the mountain. So it took a lot of work for 2 years. Since then, it's been, can't believe it, 59 years. Originally a way to bring up skiers, but now it's just like every day we just get people all over the world. Mainly our people that visit are tourists.
Tell the listening audience your typical day. How does it start, and what do you do as you navigate throughout the day?
So there's a supervisor, and then 3 tram operators, 2 upper terminal attendants. So that's if we're busy. So basically what that means is the upper terminal stays on top of the mountain, and they check people to come back down. And then the tram operators are the ones that ride the tram car going up and down. Sometimes I'm an upper terminal attendant, so I check people in and tell people like, oh, this tram is boarding, and you're able to get people on and off the tram like nonstop on top of the mountain. So it's the opposite. Like at the base, we have ticket agents, and we get people checked in at the base. So in between, yeah, we have tram operators that ride up and down the tram car, and those are the ones that give the tours. So just talking about like the towers and the elevations and nature, things like tours, like being an upper terminal. So just being on top of the mountain, and you get to see like squirrels or just like people random. So it's all different, like different areas. If you're riding the top of the tram, you have to wear a harness, and it has carabiners, so you latch in and off from like bars, and making sure you're clamped in, so that way it has like this catch fall, and you have to wear a hard hat. What is crazy, because 10 years ago when I first started there, we didn't have to wear hard hats, but I miss those days where we didn't have to wear a hard hat and just be open air on top of the tram. So that was crazy when I think about it when I first